Hi guys, this is Coach T, the Polepreneur, here today to go over why you do not need a course on how to start a pole studio in order to get started. But before I go on, I want just to make mention, if you like the information that you see in this video, please hit the like button, make sure that you subscribe. You can leave a comment on what your take is. Know that this channel is really based on my own personal experience. I've been in the industry for 12 years and I have ran my own brick and mortar pole studios for over 6 at the date of this video. And so a lot of the things that I'm going to say are just coming from my own advice. And that's what I say on my channel and on my Instagram. So guys, please, if it resonates with you, hit the like button, leave a comment, and make sure that you subscribe. Make sure you also ring the bell so that you get notified every single time a new video is posted. But now we're going to go ahead and get back to the topic at hand, why you do not need a pole studio course to start your studio. This is my opinion, and I'm going to give you a little bit of background why I say this. And then I'm also going to give you some like real life examples on why we overthink things in our big decisions. And I understand why, but why we overthink things in our big decisions when we don't have that same principle in our day-to-day life. And I'll get into those things in a minute to give you guys some perspective. But I'll start first by just telling you guys a little bit of my story and how I got started. So when I started a pole studio, I want to tell you guys that I drug my feet for years. One thing is I always knew from a little girl that I wanted to start like my own business, but just didn't know what. So I dabbled a little bit in the marketing and stuff like that, multi-level marketing, but I never really went full in and put all that responsibility on my shoulders because I was too afraid of failure, which I found out that there's nothing wrong with failure. In fact, that's one of the best things that can happen to you, but that's a different video for a different day. But I really drug my foot a long time. I came up with this plan that I was going to take courses, and then I was going to work at a bank so that I can learn how businesses work. I could learn the lending aspect. I could learn the structure, like how to set up an LLC or sole proprietorship. And then I also was going to, um, you know, I also was going to get some help from someone else, like as far as like how to structure stuff, a little bit of mentorship on the side. And so I really, really, really struggled for years. And I mean years. I started pole dancing um, in 2009. I started pole dancing as a student. So about a year later, at that point, I was already like, okay, I'm ready to be an instructor. I'm ready to start making money. I'm ready to start, creating a business lane for myself. And it was at that time when I really started pulling apart like what I needed to do. Overthinking is really what I was doing. I was thinking everything had to be perfect. I had to come in. I had to have the right structure. I had to have all this stuff. While all of that matters, that stuff held me up for years. And I mean years. I actually ended up figuring out that by the time I was finished dragging my feet because I was too afraid to pull the trigger on like just being an entrepreneur, I didn't end up using any of that stuff that I had originally learned. And so my point to you is this: what I ended up learning was, what ended up happening was, I finally just got tired of it one day. I realized that the juice wasn't worth the squeeze working for somebody else and playing small, being an instructor, or I was at that time a studio manager. So I finally just said, forget it. I don't care what I have to figure out. I don't care what I have to know. I don't care what I have to learn. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going all in. I'm just going to do it. I'm putting the money up. I'm just going to go start. I'm just going to start. And when I did that, I actually ended up getting an offer from the person that I was working with to buy her studio. And then I was going to get mentored for a full year after that. Now, keep in mind that it was the mentorship that did it. And I want to give you guys some real life examples, like why mentorship in any shape, form, or fashion works way better than some pre-recorded guidebook on how to do something. Okay. And that's the difference. This is why I'm telling you a course versus mentorship is way different. Okay. So a course versus mentorship is going to be two different types of results and two different acceleration paths. So think about this. Here's another example from a story of mine personally. When I moved to Texas, I was um, lost all the time, like trying to drive around. I couldn't figure the ways. The roads are very different, whatever. Okay. And so even if I put it in the map where I was going, I ended up being taken way around and off course, and the map wasn't very clear. And I thought I knew, but then I get there and realize this is not the spot. This actually truly happened to me when I was looking for going to a job interview when I first moved to Texas. And I was going up and down the street, and the map was telling me you're there. And I'm looking at it with my physical eyes, and I'm like, I'm not here. And I'm frustrated because I'm late for my job interview. And I am like, literally at the point of tears. And my now husband was in my boyfriend, and I was able to call him because he's, pretty much from Texas. And I was able to call him, and he was able to tell me exactly what I was looking at, that I was on the wrong end of the street, and where to go and how to get there, just from verbally directing me, on top of being able to calm me down from being super frustrated and having a sense of understanding that he knew how difficult the roads were. And so my point to that is, I don't care how much you plug into a map, it's still a map. So I don't care how much you know, I don't care how much somebody puts into a course, it's still a course that's documented, and it's not a live document. It's not a live course. It is something that requires consistent improving. And really the best benefit is when you can have somebody that knows the road that you're on, that knows what wrong turn you took, that can tell you that when you tell them what you're looking at, they know exactly what your next step should be. And that's what a mentor is like in real life. So for me, that's what my mentor was. When I would get when I got a sheet of paper in the mail telling me that it looked super official, that I needed to pay for this, or I could face fines as a new business owner, my mentor was able to tell me, no, you don't need to pay for that. Why? Because that's just some spam mail that people get out of the registry when you go to register for your business. And so you have this group of people that go in and find new businesses that were formed in certain counties, and they start distributing letters and notices telling you that you need these certain posters in your studio, which was false. Okay. So a mentor will help you in way more ways than any course will. And this is why I advocate intently for a mentor, is because it is step by step, moment by moment guidance. And it's not just guidance from a book, right? We see this every day in America. We see this every day. People that go to college for years, 4 years, 6 years, 10 years, getting degree after degree after degree, but yet when they go to get a job, they're saying, where's your hands-on experience? Tell me what real world experience you have. Why? Because real world experience trumps book knowledge any day, in my opinion. Because if you went through it and you made it out, and you have a connection and you have a resource that I can use as well, so that I can save money, or I can take a shorter way, or I don't make that same mistake, or I don't get in trouble, then I'd rather have that over reading a book at all times. On top of that, not only does a mentor give you, the do's and the don'ts based on their own experience, they also help talk you off of ledges. And what people don't understand is when you are an entrepreneur, you go from working like a 9 to 5 where you're responsible for this little bit of a job. You're responsible for this. It might not feel like this little bit of a job when you're doing it, but you're only responsible for this small little portion of the overall pie. And that's all you got to deal with. And when your job is done, most likely, you turn your computer off and you go home and you enjoy your weekend, and then you dread Mondays because it's back to work, right? But when you're an entrepreneur and you're running a pole studio, you don't get that luxury. You are everything. You are, when you first start off, you are the accountant, you are the janitor, you are the HR person, you are the teacher, you are the marketer, you are everything. And there are days that things don't go well. There are lots of unexpected. There are lots of opposition. There's, things that you might deal with in your personal life that you can't necessarily handle on top of the things that you're dealing with in the business. And a mentor will help you unpack the things that you are feeling, re-guide you, listen to you, and most importantly, prioritize what's most important for you. That's why the power of a mentor will trump a course at any point. Because even if it's a live course and you guys meet 2-3 times a week or once a week, or it's a challenge or something like that, right? You're going to 9 times out of 10 share that space with other people. And so now you got to wait for their, whatever's going on in their world to be, dealt with. And then you have to wait your turn. And then you only have like a 60-second punch to ask your question. And you're not really getting the resolve. And if you just had someone to hold your hand, you would find that you get where you need to go much faster with less mistakes, and you are a lot happier. And that is why a mentor is so important. And then one last point that I really, really want to drive home as to the difference of quality that you're going to get if you're looking for a course versus a mentor is, say, for example, I'll say this. I've seen some things on the market where I've seen blogs or things like that are written, and it tells you that when you're opening up a pole studio, you must have workers' compensation. That's not always true. Okay. And is it smart to have workers' compensation? Yes. But do you have to have workers' compensation? Not if you're in Texas, you don't. That's not a law. You don't have to have workers' compensation in Texas. So if I was listening to a course that tells me this is your checklist item, just do it. Don't ask any questions. It's not state specific. Just do it. And I'm in Texas and I didn't need to have that, then I put a lot of pressure on my shoulders when it wasn't necessary. Also, if they're telling you, in a pole studio course, you need to have a certain amount of poles, right? But say, you know, Tammy in Jersey, found a space that's only 700 square feet versus, Sarah that's in Ohio that found a space that's 2,500 square feet. There's different dynamics to um, each person's journey. There's different dynamics. So you need a mentor that can speak to you individually. So you're not slowed down or overstepping the items that you need to complete in order to grow your business. Okay. So everybody's market is different. Guys, we know how complex the world of pole can be. You can start a pole dancing studio and only focus on competitive pole dancing. You can start a pole dancing studio and only focus on beginner pole dancing. You can start a pole dance studio and just focus on, classes for startup exotic dancers. There are so many different things that you can do, but a mentor will speak to you and you only. It's just you and them. So what do you think happens? The dynamic of education that you get is accelerated beyond measure. The reason that I was able to hit $150,000 in my first full year of business is because I had a mentor. I had a mentor that told me your prices are too low. I had a mentor that told me you're running a business, not a charity. I had a mentor that told me when to put somebody off my team because they were cancerous. I had a mentor to walk me off a ledge because I was getting frustrated from being copied in the market. I had a mentor that helped me know what not to pay for. I had a mentor that helped me with how to have my waivers written and how to find different revenue streams. That is the reason why I was able to make over $150,000 in a full year of business. If you want to really do it right, I'm going to tell you that you have to have a mentor. While it is important for you to have a guide and a course and all of that stuff, that's fine. And I'm not going to advocate against it, but I'm saying the best case scenario is to find somebody that is where you'd like to be or that has done the things that you're about to do and has made it on the other side. Also, one last benefit, there's not the last benefit, but another benefit that I do want to touch on, and this is important. When I came out of 9 to 5 world and I was opening up my studio and I was the only person, only my first entrepreneurial experience, it's a different world. It's a different world. It takes a lot of discipline. Success loves speed. So you have to go very fast. Okay. And my mentor was like, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? Did you do that? And I had somebody to answer to. And of course, you don't have that. Okay. Off button. I don't feel like dealing with you today. You don't have that to deal with. So when you have a mentor, you also have that little person on your shoulder telling you you're not cutting the mustard. You should have had this done already. And you're standing in the way of your own success. There's accountability there. And that's what I'm telling you that you're not going to get in a course, because you have the power to turn it off. You have the power to not show up. You have the power to ignore it. You have the power to turn it on in the background as white noise. But a mentor, you don't have that power. You have to answer to somebody. So my biggest takeaway, or the biggest takeaway that I'm telling you to do is, yes, you can go take a course in the marketplace. Yes, you can find somebody that is a person that you want to be like, and you can take the course. And yes, I will probably put together a course at some point to outline, the basic steps. But if you're looking for true help, if you're looking for specific information that is applicable to you, to your own pole studio DNA, to your own future vision, then you need a mentor. So please, guys, if you're interested in that, if you want to learn more about mentorship, take a look at the comment section or read the information about the video, my caption. Sorry, guys. Read that caption, because I do have some more information in there for you. I hope that you have found something in this helpful. I hope that something has resonated with you. I'm only speaking from my experience and the experience that I had and that I've also reciprocated, because when I sold 3 of my studios, I had already mentored those 3 individuals, and they have continued to move on with their post studio success. So mentorship is powerful. And if you're looking for it, just take a look at the caption in this video, leave some comments, tell me what you think. Again, my experience, but I know that something has to resonate with you because it's real life. And thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at the Polepreneur. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.